I don't think so, but we are live.
We
So
are
this
live.
This is comic book. I already messed up. That's what happens when we don't have Todd.
This is what happens when we don't have Todd.
This
are
is
live.
Comic Burrito podcast, a live cast. This week in comics, I'm Cole.
And I'm Nick.
And we're going to talk about what we read this week. I guess I'll kick it off here with a book I think only I read. It is called Hedra. And this was one of those books that I think I saw you had it, I think, when we were at the shop, because we happened to be there at the same time.
Yeah, where is it? There it is.
And I grabbed the last issue on the shelf.
I grabbed the second to last issue.
Yeah,
on the shelf.
And this is all done by Jesse. I think it's Lonergan.
Yep.
This is like that, almost like perfect. Like, this is different than most other comic books that you probably will read this week, especially. I've only read very minimal books like this. There are no words.
There's no words?
No.
Really?
But the paneling is so crazy that you follow it. Like, this is for sure a book that I'm going to probably read multiple times, like over and over again. Like, if you actually if you follow Jesse Lonergan, he actually goes through the entire book on Twitter. Like, I mean, it's like a 10-second video of like this book that probably took me 20 minutes to go through. But you have to like the panel work, you have to actually like follow. There's like weird lines. I mean, I guess I can just kind of show you like a panel, but yeah.
If I had known there were no words, I would have flipped through this at least.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is just one random page, right?
So it's a thick book. It's a one.
And you can like see on this one, it goes like you're supposed to follow the lines between the planet jumps.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I think that the more you read it,
I'm very into this. Is it like 2001 Space Odyssey kind of stuff, or is it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it had definitely a different vibe than what I'm like, used to. I don't think that I quite understand it, but sure. I'm excited to go back and read it.
Oh, this looks awesome. I'm so mad that I didn't read it now. This is probably gonna be the first book I'll read tomorrow. Now, knowing
I know,
that.
And like that's the thing. It was like
it's the
one
big
of those
size
things where
too.
I kind of wanted to say like, yeah, and it's big. It's a little bit smaller than the normal like prestige or magazine size stuff.
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh, that's cool. No, I didn't know that. All I knew was that I heard some serious heat behind this book like yesterday, and I was like, I'm not picking up a new Image book. And then I heard it was a one shot, and I was like, all right, I'll buy it if it's a one shot. But I didn't know anything about it other than that it was a one shot. I didn't know that there was no prose or anything in it. I didn't even know what it was about. I just heard really, really good things, and that it was a one shot. So if I ever hear that, I'll buy that for sure. So that's cool. Especially if you had to read it a few times, maybe I'll buy another copy. And oh no, they were sold out.
Yeah, ours were too. I think it was a pretty low. I don't know. I don't know that much about it, but if you can find it, I highly recommend looking for it. I mean, worst case scenario, just go and follow Jesse Lonergan. I'll just link his Twitter real quick.
Yeah, do that.
He does a little splash page of the entire book.
Right. Maybe you look at that, and then maybe you want to order it from Midtown or somebody else. That's super cool. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it. If I had known that, I probably would have checked it out first.
And what's up, Sam? We're just talking about this week in comics.
I love the idea of that. All right, we do have somebody that's going to be joining us. They're setting up now. maybe two.
So what's your next book?
My first book.
Or first book, yeah.
Which one do I want to talk about first? I'll go with this one because it didn't blow me away. I only had time to read. Okay, I had time to read plenty of comics today, but I chose to rewatch a lot of Harley Quinn because I still haven't watched the second season yet. But it's been so long that since I've watched the first, that when I started watching the first episode of the second season, I was like totally lost. So I'm currently trying to catch up on that. But Rogue Planet, issue 3 of 5, I think, maybe 6. This book is super cool, like space horror, sci-fi monster stuff. That's just some crazy. I don't really understand what's going on yet, and it's definitely a book that when the last issue comes out, I'm gonna have to reread the whole thing. Cullen Bunn is a name that I keep finding books in my pile with his name on them. Very good stuff. Art Andy McDonald, Nick Filardi, and it's from Omni Press. Really cool stuff that's probably just different than most other things out there. It's got kind of a what I don't know. It has kind of an alien vibe to it, and what else? There's something. There's a movie that I've seen that kind of.
I would say it's probably similar to like Alien. It definitely has some like I don't know exactly, but like if there's like it's got some tribal vibes to it, you know, like I don't know what that
this issue got into that more. Like now there's going to be history of this planet and the aliens, monsters, whatever the hell it is that's going on that keeps killing people. I don't know. All I know is that every time I read it, I'm like, wow, that was cool. And I think I need to reread that. So great art in there too. I don't know if I can.
And also, Poser, I was eating chicken wings. I said it already, but once I eat my mustache while I eat food, that's usually an indicator where it has to go. And I do not know how to trim. I only know how to shave, so it's
all or nothing.
Yeah,
I feel like there was a splash page. Oh yeah. Oh, I probably shouldn't show it.
Yeah.
I mean,
is it the one of the
like the scorpion thing?
Yeah.
You think that's cool? I think that's cool. There's no context really for it, so it's just a really cool. It's not a scree. I wish it was a scree because I love me a scree. But it's a Griki, I guess. But it's oh man, there's some wicked fucked up shit in this book sometimes. Where it's one of those like you turn the page and you're just like, oh god, like. So Rogue Planet is I mean I was looking at my pile this week in general, and it was like it's a short pile for what we've had recently, but everything I've got is really good. Yeah.
All right, so we did throw an invite out to people on Twitter, and we have somebody on from Twitter. So welcome everyone. This is Sunsport Comics. How's it going?
Sunspot.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Sunspot, sorry.
Sunspots.
Sunspots Comics. What's going on?
All right, how you guys doing?
Good. We
first time, long time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, that's awesome. You do like reviews and stuff too on your. You have a page or a channel or something that you do stuff on.
Yeah, I've been my podcast for about 5 years now, and
awesome.
I work for Aftershock Comics on the side,
nice.
Sales marketing for those guys. Small little tight knit group of cool dudes.
Yeah,
and dudettes.
I'm liking a lot of Aftershock right now, so that's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, they're like a renaissance, like a rebirth in the last few months. Some good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks for inviting me on. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on. It was kind of short notice. One of our guys was feeling under the weather, so we wanted to invite some other people on and talk. So we hear you've got a book that you want to share.
Yeah, you can call me Chris, by the way. That's my first name.
Chris. I'm Cole. This is Nick.
Nick, and what was your name? I'm sorry?
I'm Nick.
And I'm Cole.
Nick and Cole. Awesome.
And I just linked your Apple's podcast site from your Twitter in the show.
Thank you so much.
Anyone that's on, if you want to check out his podcast, feel free.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I had a guest on recently that just blew me away, and I was like surprised. It was I had Daniel Warren Johnson on not too long ago. That's one I'm really proud of. You guys should check that out, and it's just a ton of fun. and it still blows me away. I just re-listened to it not too long ago, and we just BS'd for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was great, and he's just so metal and so much fun.
Yeah,
So check that out. But what I read recently, I know it's not just like on the new comic list for this week, but I just read Firepower from Robert Kirkman, and of course the legendary Chris Samney. He can't do any wrong in my book, Chris Samney.
Yeah.
And have you guys checked this out?
Yeah, we both actually read it. We were going to do a show on it, and then ended up like didn't have time to add it, like to put it together. So we
did
a thing. I have 4 kids, and my 2 oldest boys like read. There's some stuff that I let them go through and stuff, and we had a whole recorded thing with them because they both really liked it and stuff. And that's a book that I always like it when I share a book with them and they read it, and then like 2 or 3 days later they're like, "Hey, can I read that again?" It's like, yeah, sure, man.
Oh, that's very cool.
Firepower was issue 2 should be coming out pretty soon, right?
Issue 1 comes out either next week or the following week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just checking through. Yeah, it comes out. I think it comes out next week, the same week as My Little Ponies Transformers for Nick over here.
Oh, nice. And I have to be honest, I don't know if it was sent to me because I read it all. I read like the collection of, I want to say 150 pages. And sometimes I get stuff sent to me via Aftershock, or it's out. You have to correct me.
Well, I think what you read might be the prelude, if it all deals with the training.
Thank you. The prelude.
They did the trade, and then the first issue was a free comic book day, and then now it should be an ongoing series. So there's if you liked it, there's even more to come. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I won't have to wait long for issue 1. That's fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
But if you love Avatar and you're a fan of it, and which I'm a late Avatar fan. I'm actually watching the animated series right now. I'm on like the second season. So no spoilers of Avatar.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it yet, and it's one of those things that's just sitting there like waiting to go. And I think one of my kids is like secretly watching it on a tablet at night, kind of a thing. But
awesome. Or if you're a fan of things like Shaolin Soccer, if you've ever watched any of what's his name, Chow. I want to say Richard Chow, but that's probably not right. Stephen Chow. If you're a fan of any of his films. There's definitely sprinkles of him in here. There's a scene where the monks are playing basketball, and it's Shaolin basketball. It goes off of the Shaolin Soccer fun, and so if you're a fan of any of his films, definitely you're going to enjoy Firepower. And for me, it was also like a refreshing sort of change, kind of a different style from Kirkman. I know he goes in not wanting to meet our expectations. His writing style is to just kind of continually surprise people.
Yep.
And he did that here. It also seemed like in a way some of his demographics was a younger crowd.
Oh yeah.
Which is very different from me. I didn't remember any sort of even language or violence or anything that kind of had my jaw drop. Seemed very clean. And your kids
Yeah, they have kids. Not read Walking Dead.
Yeah, keep that away from them.
Yeah, they're not quite ready for that yet.
Yeah, no, don't even let it near them.
But it's also not like a kid's book either, where it's right. like it. I enjoyed it very much. It's just clean, good fun, really.
Yep. Yeah, and I think we read it 2-3 weeks ago at this point, maybe even a month ago. But
yeah, maybe.
I also remember that in the beginning section, like that prelude, that stuff definitely seemed more like younger crowd, whereas that first like free comic book day issue kind of goes into the more slice of life, what happens after, which is probably geared a little towards adults a little bit more.
Kane Paul is calling out your bald upper lip, Cole.
Yeah, sorry. And I don't know if we lost Chris there.
Oh, we might have. He's not moving. Well, do you want to bounce him out for right now and then see?
Yeah, we'll bounce you out for a second.
Chris, that's not out.
Yep, I did it the wrong way. When you come back, if you just want to send a thing in the private chat.
Chris, let us know. Let us know in the private chat or in the or send me a DM on Twitter. I'll try to keep my eye on that when you're good to go. But it looks like we lost your stream. So Cole, go ahead with your second book. That was Firepower, which is a good one. Oh. Shit. We got him back?
Yep, we got him back. I'll throw him in, and then we'll go back to that. There you are.
There he
I don't
is.
know what happened there. Guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
We're like, he's staying very still.
Frozen.
Nope, you're good, I think.
No, you're good.
It's probably like whatever slow internet. It's cycling through now.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, Firepower.
Can't
No,
see,
Firepower. Firepower
Can't
was
see Cole yet.
awesome.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I don't see Cole yet. He's not there. You see him?
I'm still here, but
Yeah, we see you. Everything looks good on our end. Hey, long box. Is it looking good, Chris?
Can't hear anything yet. I'm
Okay.
ramping up.
All right, we'll jump him out and we'll do that and bounce him back in here in a minute. Let me turn this off. There we go. Hopefully that'll help.
that Texas Blood.
Now I can't hear you, Cole.
Huh? You can't hear me?
Uh-oh. Now I don't hear you. Oh, no. Before it was fine.
I guess, can people in the stream hear me? Apparently Poser can hear me.
Somebody in the comments, can you hear myself or Cole?
I can hear
Sam
Nick.
King says that they can hear us both, but I cannot hear you.
Yeah, so Wes can hear both of us.
For whatever reason, I cannot hear Cole, which is going to be very difficult to.
How about now?
No, still nothing. Me to jump out and try to jump back in?
Let's try this real quick.
This is weird. It's the first time this has ever happened.
I have no. Oh wait, you know what? I bet it is.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Wait, try now.
Oh well, we lost Chris again.
I got it. I tried to turn my sound off because I opened up the YouTube stream, and
good for you.
And which was great, except it turned your sound off on this for some reason. So now I think we're good.
Yeah, want to give it a third try? You can hear. Can you hear us, Chris?
Are we reassembling? Are we getting back together?
There we go.
Is it happening?
Yep, I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear us, but sounds like it's good.
We did it.
That is so weird, guys.
All right,
first time I've ever had this. I've never used this StreamYard before.
Yeah,
it's pretty good, but every once in a while
simple
we
to
have
use,
a little
so.
drop or
Oh man, everybody's garbled. I can sort of hear you, but it's garbling.
Okay.
Wait,
am I coming through garble?
No, you're good.
No, you sound good.
He's trash talking you, Nick. Please hold.
Well, I would say, I think for the sake of us trying to keep it short, we might just drop you.
For right now, at least, and let's do that Texas Blood, and we'll do your book and then my book. We'll try to see if we can get him back for his book, if he's got another one.
Yeah.
So, Chris, if you're listening, we'll try to pull you back in after two more and see if that works.
That Texas Blood.
If you want to hang out.
This book just continues to be amazing. So this is written by Chris Condon and art by Jacob Phillips. I'm pretty sure that this book, I don't know. I tried to look for everything else. I'm pretty sure Jacob Phillips does everything in the art. I could be wrong. So if somebody in the chat
as far as
knows
art and colors and
the answer to that, well, and I think letters also.
I think you're right. Because I don't see.
I know we kind of said hello, but thanks for coming, Longbox. Thank you, Samuel David. The Wednesday poll list. Welcome, guys. And gin and something. Someone's making
I'm
soup.
making soup. I'm making soup. Yeah, no. So this started off, and I was like, I don't know if I like it as much as the first one. But then about halfway through, maybe even a third of the way through, it started picking up steam. And then by the end of it, it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
definitely slower paced. There's not nearly as much action, but I really enjoyed it. I like the dialogue of it.
I don't think it's as grand of action, but there's still at least one moment where like I hit that panel and it was like, oh, you know, it was like, geez, it wasn't quite as profound maybe as the first one in that moment, but it was still just like a whoa.
And we got the easiest to the best line of the issue of, and anyway, you ain't got that Texas blood.
Well, I love the just the well. Just I love that, man. It's just some great great dialogue in there where it's just that down to earth, just that Texas. And this one doesn't really. Does it connect with the first one? I know we talked about that a little bit with one, that like two might not, like it's some of the same characters in the same town and stuff.
It's the same sheriff, and
but it's not necessarily branching off of what happened in number one, is it? I didn't get a chance to go back and reread number one. He didn't do cover B. No, I forget who did. Cover B was awesome, but I just stuck with.
I think this is like I thought that was cover. I think that we picked up the variant cover, but I could be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure this is because I think it says variant.
Well, look at the signature. That doesn't look like Sean Phillip. That looks like Duncan Burrito.
Oh, maybe it is. I think you're right. I don't know. I liked this one. The other cover was cool with the guy by the sign, all spooked out. But I could have sworn I saw Chris tweet this out as cover A, but maybe it is. I guess I could also look real quick, or somebody could comment if somebody did. It is B cover. Okay, well that's B cover then.
I normally get A covers. That's why I was like surprised about it, but. I think it was maybe pulled as it originally. What you got next?
My next, I'm gonna go with Mercy, by Mirka Andolafo.
You might know her from Unnatural.
You might know her from the smash hit of Unnatural, the children's edition. It's a children's book that she read. Just buy it for your kids and give it to them, and don't even worry about supervising them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about animals.
It's just a cute little like animal book. No, don't do that. And don't do that with this book either. Although this book isn't quite as graphic as that one, at least in the in the same way. I mean, there's definitely some violence and stuff. It's a vampire book, but it's a little bit different vampires than we're used to, and we're still not really sure, or at least I'm still not really sure exactly how it all works. Which is kind of interesting that we're on issue 4 of 6, and some of that stuff is coming to light. And I think the next issue is going to be that and then 6 will be the big conclusion of it. But I love myself a triple threat, somebody that writes, draws, colors, letters. Like this is a Mirka book. It's all her. The sheer talent that it takes to pull off a comic book by yourself, that's really good. I have to respect that just in general. And this was a really big book, I think, in like France and Italy and stuff like that, and it's been kind of dubbed over for English and American crowds and stuff. But it is just beautiful, and it's I don't know. Like I said, I don't know exactly all that's going on, and I think COVID kind of screwed up some stuff with release and stuff, so I need to go back and reread it. But Mercy #4, I definitely would not pick up because it's just a 6-issue book, so it's not worth picking up 4 and 5. But if your shop has 1, 2, 3, 4, I would buy it. Or when you see the Mercy trade come out, I would highly recommend it because it is great stuff. And I know we have. There we go. There's Nat. I knew if I started talking about Mercy, Nat would show up. Yeah, it is just a great book that and it's one of those that I keep kind of forgetting about a little bit, and then I get to the LCS and it's like I'm going through my stack that they have, and it's like, oh yeah. So that's an easy one for me to pick. It was when I see it, it's like that immediately gets. Does anybody else do this? Like I get my pile of books, right, and when I get back from the store, I kind of like arrange them in the order that I want to read them, kind of a thing.
And then I kind of mix and match them a little bit.
Do you? I kind of like I do my my like polls video on Twitter, and if you watch that, generally speaking, if you reverse that video,
that's the order you're reading.
That's the order I'm reading it in.
Nice.
Except for like this week when we had stuff like Hedra, where it's a big issue, or stuff like Pulp, where it's a hardcover or something. Then those will find the bottom anyways. And I didn't read Pulp this week just based off of time, but. What if he has top chat or live chat turned on? Who are they? Are they talking about me?
They might be talking about us. I always have in the Streamlabs. It's always alive, but we do have Chris back, so let's give him a third time the charm here. How we sound,
guys? My internet just it died and then came back to life. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, no problem. So we're talking. We kind of got over firepower, the basics.
Nice.
Yeah. Any other
with you?
Yeah, my new comic book list this week was 8 titles. Maybe you guys got some of this. I got Amazing Spider-Man. I got Ascender #11 that just came out. Black Magic. Did you guys see that Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott, Black Magic came back?
I saw that. I haven't read any of it, so I definitely did not grab it, but I know it's a fan favorite from a lot of people. I do like Rucka.
For a treat. Give it a go, man.
My little brother, Tyler, was into comics before I was, and like a year or maybe 2, it might have been 2 or 3 years ago now, he was just like, he hasn't been reading them much and he wanted to sell a bunch. I got like Descender singles and stuff from him, some really cool stuff, and in the box of stuff I got was Black Magic, the trade 1 and 2, and I still haven't read it yet. I keep hearing great things about. Yeah, I know. I do. There's probably 4 or 5 trades from him, those included, that I just haven't gotten into. Because I think that's a fairly large volume now, isn't it? Don't they have maybe 4 or 5 trades out, or more than that?
I think it's issue 11.
12 came out today, right?
Oh, is it really?
11?
Yeah. So okay. you probably have you'll get caught right up very quickly, but you're in for a treat. Nicholas Scott's art in this it's pretty much black and white. There's some hints of little bits of red and splash of color here and there to really kind of accent certain moments, but it's a penciling tour de France. It's just beautiful, and the shading in it is gorgeous, and the time she spends on a face, I can only imagine, must take forever because there's just so much detail in the emotes. It's just bananas. But and you've got an advantage too, because there are weird release dates for it. So
is it MAGICK?
Yeah, it's got a weird little.
That's not what I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of Black Science.
Oh, there we go. My bad. Yeah, no, this.
Yeah.
This does look pretty crazy too. Yeah, and I do like that. I do like that pencil work for sure.
Very nice, and it's a great character development kind of story. It reminds me a bit of how Terry Moore writes women. It just seems to be realistic and actually honest and empowering for them. And just there's very few people. I mean, Greg Rucka's one, Terry Moore's another, that can truly write how an actual woman is, a realistic look on a woman's life. That's one example of one that I go, wow, he gets it, and he's going like to another level So if any of that interests you, go for it. Give Black Magic a try.
Yeah, I mean, just finished Lois Lane when the last issue hit, and I love Greg Rucka's run on that. Like, it was just great. And I've
That's
read
one I gotta
all
get.
but the 4th volume of Stumptown too. I mean, I like him doing like detective stuff for sure. I think he can do a strong female detective very good.
Oh, excellent. I've never read Stumptown, so thank you. That's like a reminder for me to put that on my list.
Yeah, and actually, if you read Rogue Planet today, this issue 3, they put the first 3 panels of Stumptown issue 1 in there.
What?
Not sure why.
I thought I had heard of it too. But
I'm guessing it's because the TV show's out, and maybe the TV show's coming back, and they're trying to get people to be like, oh, if you read the comic.
Yeah.
Feels a bit subliminal for them to just drop it in like that. They're just like, here's a little Stumptown.
A little Stumptown there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to check that out. Thanks for the reminder. Stumptown on the list. Did you guys see there was a Image comic, which again I just grabbed because it was a new #1 from Image, which lately I used to just grab them all. A new #1 Image. Maybe I got a little fatigued by that.
When I started doing that when I first like 3 or 4 years ago when I first started getting into independent comics, and it was like, I'm gonna buy every #1, and like 3 weeks later it was like, I can't afford this. There's way too many.
And you get fatigued from it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Although I saw Hedra, Hedra.
Yep, I actually. Yeah, I talked about it as my first comic so far this week, and this
Fantastic.
Did you read it yet?
There's no dialogue. I read the first 5 or 6 pages.
But it's so fun. I think I'm going to reread it multiple times just to see, like, I don't know. The panel work for me was awesome. Seeing just how it, like, moves different than anything else. Like, they can tell a story there without words, which is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And it really, I think, showcases what comics can be, you know?
Well,
true visual medium.
It proves that the panel and that art and everything like that is so much more of the story than a lot of people, especially people that don't read comics, don't understand that there's all this storytelling. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you get anywhere from a splash page of one picture to 9 panel pages and stuff. And if it's 1,000 words per panel, it's there's so much going into that. And I think for comics, a lot of times that's what takes the time. And when you really get into the depth of something, is when you get into the artwork like that. So I have not read that book yet. And it's going to be, I told Cole earlier, that's my first book I'm probably going to read tomorrow. I might even stay up tonight and flip through it, because that's got me really excited now. I'm glad I grabbed it, or else now I'd be really kicking myself.
I think like you, Cole, I'm gonna have to go through it a few times to really let it kind of absorb. There was an old Batgirl issue, and I wish I had it in front of me, that I grabbed, that was dialogue free, and it was just wonderful, and it stuck with me. And it's just the day in the life of Batgirl. And I'm gonna, before I end our conversation, I'm gonna kind of find it online here, and I own it, or grab a copy of it. I know it's in this pile over here.
Let me know what it is, because I will pick that up or try to find it.
Yeah, and I know there was one issue of Hit Girl on Kevin Smith's run that had like 3 words in it.
Oh,
they're probably all swears.
I don't know if they were or not. I'd have to go back. But it's like issue 3 too. And I just remember I got on Twitter about it, and one person was just like, "Man, Kevin Smith thinks he can sell me a $4.99 or a $3.99 book and only put 3 words in it." I was just like,
I don't think so. I need more words for my dollars.
Yeah.
Cole, do you have any other books you want to talk about? I don't know how much time you got. We try to keep these somewhat short on Wednesdays. We do lives on Saturdays that usually go off into the night, but I don't know if Chris, if you have any other books you want to talk about. I have one more.
Yeah, we do have somebody in the green room too. So
do we?
We might have to say, I think we might have lost Chris again.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Well, Chris,
it was awesome having you on.
It was awesome, and we'll have you on again sometime.
Absolutely, man. It was great meeting you. If you can hear us, I'll send you a DM or anything. Everybody else, there was a link to his podcast in the comments.
I'll bring
check
it back
him out.
up again if I can find it. Here it is. You obviously can't see it very good, but we're
There you
going to
go.
add in our other person in the green room. You guys might know him. You
might have heard
love
of this
him.
guy.
But here he is,
Boom.
reading a book, drinking some red, white, and blue seltzers, I think those are.
Yeah. Wearing a Comic Signal shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that.
I mean, I
What's
think
going
everyone
on,
knows it
fellas?
already, but if you haven't already subbed, I just threw his line in there for his YouTube channel.
Oh, also, I don't know if he's still on here earlier, so sorry, Joey. I saw you comment, "Hi, Joey, Hollywood World of Sports." We did know you, and I talked about this earlier because I said in our private chat, I said, "Oh man, Joey was at Comic Signal," and he like said hi. You said hi to me, and then I like ran away from you. It had nothing to do with you. It was that my ADHD went off, and I suddenly remembered a book that I needed to check on, and I just ran off to go find it, and then I turned around and you were gone. And I do that all the time, so I'm sorry if you took it personally. I didn't mean to just like run away from you. So if you're still in here, hi Joey. I'm glad he got, I think, a new issue of Cobra Kai that he was really excited about, which is cool. He's fairly new to comics. And yeah, I didn't mean to just run away from you. I just had one of those ADHD
And I think,
moments.
too, I said hi when you first came up, and then I think like maybe I was too mumbled, and I don't think you heard me. And then
It's hard with the masks
Yeah.
and everything else on. And
I'm usually kind of in the zone while I'm at the shop, and then I try and like
in and out.
chit-chat towards the front of the store.
Yeah.
All right, Poser, what are you talking about?
What's up?
You
So,
got a book?
yeah, it was a weird day for me because I was expecting to pick up like 15, 16 books. And I woke up this morning to learn that my main LCS in town is shut down for the next 2 weeks because the owner is sick and he thinks he's symptomatic.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
I had to pick up things that I either wasn't already getting from him or things that I was okay with getting twice, right? So I got, you talked about both of these already, and I know he's got the A cover of that for me, so I'll have both covers of both books. So the other things, I'll talk about this one really quickly. Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality #5 came out.
Ooh.
And the only thing, like, it's been a fun run because it's an Elseworlds tale where someone is trying to kind of delete history. But there is a panel here where they are describing, where Peter Parker has to describe to Doctor Strange what a retcon is. Because it was about somebody writing out of their own existence. And then it has like some cool, like a single splash page with a lot of Marvel characters about
that's cool.
Peter Parker proving his greatness. So that was fun. But hearing you all talk about Image #1s, I didn't get that one, but it sounds like I'll love it because I liked Giant Size X-Men, the Jean Grey and Emma Frost, which had about 6 words but was all art. But my new Image #1.
Hey, real quick though, was that Nightmare? Sam King wants to know.
Yeah, Nightmare Nightmare shows up, I think, for the first time in book 3, but in 4 and then part of 5, Peter Parker is trying to acknowledge the break between what he experienced with Nightmare and like what reality is after kind of fighting Nightmare and the two villains that were like eliminating a book. But Lost Soldiers is pretty cool. Y'all, I think everybody knows that I like philosophy stuff too. Mm-hmm. So on the inside of the cover is this long passage from one of Bell Hooks's books about how patriarchy and masculinity don't like force violence upon women first, that it forces men to battle in the most like vicious forms of combat. So what happens in this book is kind of a jump between 2 time periods. You have the cluster of the same couple of soldiers who were in Vietnam together that made it out of like 2 big firefight situations. And now as old men, they're being called up for a mission in Mexico. And there are some flashbacks. There are some like PTSD style moments that are kind of cool. In terms of that time hop, it's almost like, what was the like Clint Eastwood old man space movie where like they put all the old astronauts to go blow up a comet? It came out around like Deep Impact and Armageddon.
Is that the one with Ben Affleck?
The Armageddon was Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if that was the same movie
No,
that you're talking about.
but it's
Yeah,
about old astronauts who are like, we're going to go die in space. But this book was pretty cool in terms of looking at the impact of like war on people and relationships. And then
Space
the other
Cowboys.
Space Cowboys. There you go, Sam King.
Sam King got it.
Sam King, that gives you 7 points.
7 points to Sam King,
From
who
Matt's account.
now leads with 7 points.
And then what I was reading while you were finishing up with your prior guest, I picked up Dead Body Road 1 and 2.
Todd is very happy that you're bringing up this book because he's the only one of the 3 of us that's picking that up.
Nick thought about buying them, I think, today.
So close. I was so close.
I think I want to go see if I can find the previous series digitally, because there are allusions to like the main female character was like some kind of assassin or something like that. And there are allusions to how she's tried to move on, but by book 2, she gets pulled back into that life. So that it was good. I can see why Nick likes it, or why Todd likes it. And I'm not going to say
Todd might have read the original, and that's what kept me away from it, is knowing that there was all this back stuff. It's like, shit. Okay.
It's not confusing, right? Like, I started reading Nailbiter Returns without reading Nailbiter, and I was like, I need to know what happened in Nailbiter to understand that. This one, it doesn't throw me.
I don't think you need it as
off.
much, but it's the way Todd explained it was you don't need it to read this one, but it's a dang good book, so you might as well go out and read it.
It helps.
And also, Lost in, as you can see, me and Poser finally made up, but I shaved my mustache in revenge to him because of it.
And he sent it to Nat. That's her.
Yeah,
I got it.
I sent it to Nat.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of
It isn't
Nailbiter
weird
Returns,
at all. See, and I dropped Nailbiter Returns at issue 2. I got issue 1, and then I dropped issue 2 because I have been getting the trades of Nailbiter, and I was like, I should just trade wait. And then I find out that Returns is only a 6-issue miniseries.
Oh, I did not know that. So
yeah, I found that out yesterday. So I was like, now I might go. They still have 2 and 3 at Comic Signal, so I might just grab them.
I read all 30 issues of Nailbiter last night in 2 hours to be excited to pick up number 3, and then the second shop in town didn't have it.
I'm on the 3rd trade, I believe. 2nd or 3rd trade. I think I finished book 2, so I just have book 3 to read, and then I'm caught up.
Yeah, so the 3rd one, I really have been enjoying Returns.
Okay.
Because I'm doing the books on Hoopla.
Yeah, and they have it's written by Joshua Williamson, art by Mike Henderson, colors by Adam Guzowick, letters by John J. Hill. But this one, and it actually makes sense now, because after finishing this issue, and I'm not going to get into it because I know you guys haven't read it as much, but like finishing this issue, you definitely know, like, the way the story's going, I don't think it can go on for like a 30-issue arc, so that makes sense. It makes me enjoy it a lot. There's a lot of fun stuff, and you see some cool action in this also that I was pretty excited about.
Well, and that's what I liked about each of the trades of Nailbiter, is that they were a complete arc with a good enough cliffhanger that kicked over to the second one, and it just ratcheted up in intensity. And did it answer all of the questions by the end? No, but it still gave you that comfortable feeling of like, we know as much as we could have figured out, and now based on what happened. The other, like, that was everything that I've read today. The other new stuff that I have to read, I picked up all of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 101 up to 107 and the annual. So
wow. I like that. I don't know what that shark's name is, but he's got Krang in his belly.
Oh,
the annual.
Yeah.
That's a sweet cover. We didn't have, they had a different one of the annual with that same shark on it. And I thought that there was another one. So I was kind of confused. It wasn't that one. He was like sideways and he was wearing like a trench coat.
Yeah, I think I saw that and was like, no, the A looks cool. And then after I finished Dead Body Road,
yeah,
I started flipping through Pulp, and I'll tell you, it smells funny for being a hardcover book that's sealed.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Like, I opened it and I was like, no, it's the book.
Weird. I didn't notice that. I'll smell it again when I get it. I was going to read it, but instead I got lost in a small Office rant, so I went in and watched The Office.
And then this is the last thing that I got today.
Ooh.
This is now officially my first omnibus.
Nice.
It is.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, and it's
it's a thick one, yeah.
Oh, and it's Boom.
Yeah, it's Boom. And it's
I knew that. I didn't know that was Boom.
The second, third, and fourth like big arcs. So it's most triumphant return, go to hell and save the universe. So it's missing like the first series, but I love Bill and Ted. I'm really excited for number 3 to come out. I think they might say that it might just be digitally released at this point in like September or October. Nice. And then I'm just going to play catch up on a bunch of stuff I have.
Yeah, I grabbed Ranger Slayer. I know Nick did.
A stack this big. There's your copy of it. Feeds it.
I forget who it was that we were talking to in the Discord, which, by the way, we have a Discord if anybody's watching and they like to randomly chat throughout the day about comic books and stuff.
Also, that's Lost In. I just dropped their sub, so if their YouTube,
I didn't know this was $8. I didn't know it was $8,
and it's a one shot.
I got to and I'm hearing it's a one shot that maybe could continue.
It's a one shot that sets up a 3-issue arc based on the end of who becomes the new Drakon, and then it impacts both Mighty Morphin and Go-Go, the 2 big ongoing series. I'm mad at myself for now understanding these things. It's all Burke's fault that my fellow Kansan, who also has a YouTube channel that is much bigger than both of ours combined, he's been talking about Power Rangers all the damn time, and I was like, I'll pick it up. Shit, I like it. God damn it, I feel bad.
Yeah, that's how I felt after I read. It's like I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Power Rangers crossover from Ryan Parrott, and I think it was like issue 3 or issue 4. It was like, shit, I forgot, like, as a kid how much I liked this. Yeah, like it's just one of those things that like I stopped watching one day on TV and just never thought about again, and then rereading and then like rediscovering it. It was like, man. So I think I might pick up the trades. I actually talked to Todd and Cole earlier today that it was like when DC shakes things up and like Williamson is going to be done on Flash. And some other things, it's like I might drop some DC books and start reading some Power Rangers because it just seems more fun right now. I know there's not going to be ads in the centerfolds, and you know it's Boom. I'd rather give my money to them when I could. I have my DC universe, so whatever DC's doing, I'll see you in 6 months or a year when it hits the thing.
It's still there.
It'll be there. They're not going to.
You got to wait for the next Injustice series. That is.
Yeah.
No, that's the Long Winter.
Injustice.
That is the next.
The Inges.
Yeah.
So also, what's the price of that stack you got there, Poser? That's what Lost in Comics wants to know.
The 2 trades were, or the Omnibus and Pulp were 45 together.
The rest of the books that I picked up, I think, were like 36. So less than I normally spend. But I know when my shop opens back up in 3 weeks, I'm going to have probably like a $350 bill for 3 weeks worth of books. And I mean, I sat on titles that I wanted to read but didn't want to pay for twice. Like, I didn't pick up Legion today, and I've really been enjoying that. I didn't pick up any of the new X-Men thing, and not having X Factor #1 right now is tearing at me. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some Turtles and some Batman and some old X-Men.
I did see one hot take about that though.
Turtles is another one that I wish that was one that I had discovered early on and I was reading through, because it's another one that I'm sure I would absolutely love. And
the good thing is those trades are cheap. IDW trades tend to be $10 or less.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there's just so many. It's hard to find out like what's ongoing and there's so many old runs and reboots and different things. It's hard to, because I tried to get into it maybe a year and a half ago, and like got some from the library kind of thing to check out, and it was like, I don't know where this connects or doesn't connect, or if it's just a reprint of an old one. It was
current IDW run connects in the same universe of the old Eastman and Laird books from the 80s and the 90s. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles solo title. And then for Power Rangers, the major ones are Go-Go and Mighty Morphin. I think Go-Go is more of the kidsy one, and Mighty Morphin is more representative of the Free Comic Book Day and the Ranger Slayer book.
And that's Ryan Parrott, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the Ryan Parrott run or whatever is the one I'm interested in. Yeah. And like, I don't think he started writing that run. So I think he like took over at some point, maybe, or maybe that's where I'm getting it confused.
I think in Lost in Comics interview with him 2 weeks ago now, he mentioned when he started, and I saw Cole mentioned it in the chat, and I couldn't hear if y'all mentioned it when you were talking about that Texas Blood, but kiddo, set a reminder for 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central tomorrow, because you're gonna get to see Chris and Oscar geek out with Condon
and Jacob Phelps.
And if it's anything like their interview with Rodney Barnes, it's gonna be
all like,
oh, so good.
But also, we need to talk about this comic because I put it up multiple times and we haven't. Sam, I would highly recommend probably not watching Power Rangers at this point in your life unless you have a child that wants to, because what I've heard, I haven't personally done it, is that the nostalgia level is very high. And if you liked it, it's good. But if you didn't, it'll probably be bad. And I'll say the same to you, Kane Paul.
Super campy. Super campy.
Yeah,
like, because
unless you want to see something super campy in
series.
90s. Yeah, but I think that we had one more book you wanted to talk about real quick, Nick.
I think it got mentioned already.
If you're going to talk about Ascender, I'm going to tell you all thank you and good night and go deal with my daughter.
I won't say anything specific about it.
I haven't read any of it. I got to pick both of them up in trades. Ascender and Descender.
Descender and Ascender. Descender, the first part, and now Ascender is probably, it's easily in my top 3, if not my #1 favorite comic book. And
written by Jeff Lemire right now about robots.
Yeah. And
I enjoy Ascender a lot more than I enjoyed Descender, I think, personally.
I'm maybe the opposite a little bit, but with issue 11, I was telling Cole before, this issue was not way up here, but it's the ramp up, man.
This is one of the best characters from Descender too. His name's Driller. Driller may or may not be a real killer.
That looks like a broken Beyblade.
Yeah,
pretty much. He's just this he's a drill robot that drills, but he also kills stuff. Driller's a real killer.
I mean, like I said, I don't need to talk about it for a long time because I feel winded talking about this book already. I don't feel like there's anything more that I can say, and there's not anything more that I want to say because I don't want to talk about the book anymore. So that I just want people to go buy it and read it and enjoy it as much as I have. For the
first time, I'm pulling a Nick and trade waiting.
Well, I mean,
Proud of
good luck. There's a lot of trades out there now. I mean,
Yeah.
you got, I think,
Yeah.
Those hardcovers too that Nick has.
Oh, those are
would be a good place to look into.
I mean,
And they're like
All right.
17 issues each or something like that.
I gotta go help wrestle my daughter back to
All
bed.
right.
do it.
But
Do it.
and
Oh.
see,
Oh yeah,
thanks
sorry,
for
I
letting me
removed
in
you too
too.
early.
No, you're
But,
fine.
see ya.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. On Descender, there's hardcovers. They might be getting a little bit hard to get, but
Yeah,
they'll
they'll probably release it once Ascender comes out
Oh,
with the
shoot.
hardcover.
He's not here, but we just had him leave. But Comic Book Poser, thanks again. He sent me Dark Arc hardcover for my birthday last week, which is a super cool move. Because I just sent him a message because I knew he read it, and I kind of asked him if I should, like, is this a book I should buy? And he was like, no, you shouldn't, because there's already one on its way. Which is it, and it's absolutely one of my favorite books on my shelf now. Right up my alley for stuff that I like. And it's Cullen Bunn, again, we said his name a couple times today, and Juan Doe. Awesome art and just a super cool book. Basically, it's, if you're familiar with the story of Noah and the Ark, Noah was called by God to save the animals of the earth, and this is the book of another guy who was called by a much darker force to save all the evil beings of the world, like vampires and stuff like that. So it's just it's the story of that arc. It's very cool stuff.
Well, sorry you missed it, Nat, but maybe next week or this weekend we can work something out.
Yeah, we'll have you.
I think we went about 26 minutes over what we were normally trying to plan with this.
I'm not going to talk about it right now because we haven't decided, but we're going to give this book away.
Yeah, so keep tuning in. And well, thank you everyone for coming out and watch us talk about This Week in Comics.
I hope everybody had an awesome new comic book day, and that you all read. If you haven't yet and we missed it or anything, leave a comment of what your favorite book that you picked up and read, or if you haven't had the time because lives are busy, the favorite book that you are either going to pick up or going to read this week that you're looking forward to. But yeah, it was awesome seeing everyone. And we will see you probably on Saturday evening, 10 p.m. Eastern.
And this was Comic Burrito, a live cast. Man, I'm not good at this. Todd needs to come back and help us.
Thanks for getting wrapped up with us.
Thanks for getting wrapped up with us. This was Comic Burrito. This week in comics. I'm Cole.
This is all the shit that you see at the end of our videos where it ends and then you see all the bloopers at the end. This is all of that now.
We don't have time to like wrangle us in and do it
we
properly.
We don't have time to fix this in post. Yeah. Bye.
Bye, guys.
I'm Nick.
I'm Cole. And this was weird.
Have a great night. Bye.